Hi YouTube, I found this video online called A Question to the Atheist, posted on a channel called Calvary Chapel of Costa Mesa, and apparently Brian Broderson has some important information to his church members and apparently some questions for me. So let's hear him out, shall we?
What are people hoping in today? What is there to hope in? At one time, we might have been able to hope in our government institutions. We might have been able to hope in progress and things like that, but it just seems that more and more we're finding that where we were putting our hope, it was a false hope. Those people are failing us. They're letting us down. What hope do we have of the future, not just in this life, but what about in the next life?
There is no next life.
But then the final thing he says is without God in the world. That's the big problem with the unbeliever. The unbeliever is without God. They live in a world without God. And because they live in a world without God, they don't know peace.
I know peace. I have peace within myself. I prefer peace over war.
They don't know joy.
I know joy. I feel joy.
They don't have any lasting contentment, and they don't have any real confidence about what happens afterward.
I have confidence what will happen after life. I will be dead, and I will stay dead.
There's no idea. You know, we've talked about this many times before, and I read too many atheist things, so I end up talking about atheists too much. But nevertheless, you know, the atheists are, you know, they're always on their rant against people who believe in God and Christians and so forth. But, you know, here's the question that I have for the atheist. What's your plan?
Plan of what?
Okay, you don't like God's plan?
It's not that I don't like it. I don't think he exists, so there is no plan. Do you follow Allah's plan?
Well, could you give us a plan, something that is comparable to it or something that is better than it?
Sure. How about treat others like you want to be treated? Be kind, helpful, and try to leave the world a better place than you found it.
And the reality is, the honest atheists, they don't have a plan.
This was the second time you assert we don't have a plan, and I still don't understand what you're referring to. Tomorrow I will go to work. What will you do? Next week I will play a table tennis match, and hopefully someday I and my wife will be able to renovate the bathroom. That's my plan.
They don't have any answers.
Answers to what?
At the end of the day, they just say, well, you know what, there aren't any answers and there is no plan, and it's a cold, cruel world, and you just got to get used to it, and you're going to die and disappear, and it'll all be over, so that's it. I don't really think that's much of an alternative.
That you die and that's it is not an alternative. There is no alternative. It's the circle of life, man.
Quite honestly. But that's where you go. Without God in the world, there is no hope.
Without God, there is no hope, really. Now you're threatening your church members.
This is where we were. Some of you are still there, but this is where every single person is. And I emphasize that, and Paul emphasizes it here, because sometimes what we do is we make the mistake of thinking, well, yes, I could see that some people would be in a place like that, but, you know, that's not where I am. I'm a good person. I do my best to be as kind and loving to people and as generous, and I'm really not like this. I'm not this kind of a person who's under the authority of the devil or dead in trespasses and sins. That's not me. Well, it is. It's everybody. It's all of us. There's no middle position. There's one place or the other. You're either dead in your trespasses and sins or you're alive in Christ.
That was quite interesting. So it doesn't matter if you're a good and generous person here on earth. It's either heaven or burn, no middle ground. Okay, that seems fair, just, balanced and loving.